think back to any time a man has tried any of those hugs with you and you gave him the side hug because you knew you weren't feeling him, or he tries to just touch your hand, maybe just a little, just to test the waters, and you said, "I'm sorry," like your hand was in the way, but you knew that you just didn't want. You think back to times like that and realize how much you really didn't like that person. Welcome back, gang. Welcome back. I can't do this. Welcome back, gang, gang. Just what we needed. Nah, I can't even. Could you imagine me at my big ass age, still trying to do the full like what even would this be considered? It's not a full hoodie, but like the full being mashed up when it's 65 degrees outside. Currently, we finally just got rid of all that snow. I heard it was supposed to come back though, but anyways, welcome back to another episode of Just What We Needed, another podcast. It has been quite some time since I've done this because I just haven't had shit going on. It's been same old, going to work, losing parlays, and that's it. But I took some PTO this week because I just had an extended amount. Extended, I don't know what the phrase is. I had a lot of PTO left over from last year that I had to use. So I was just like, let me do it on the lead up to Valentine's Day. And it worked out, kinda, because I had one plan, which was just to like settle down and focus on the show, Open Lobby. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my last episode, but Open Lobby, fighting game animated series. I'm trying to write. I'm bad at writing because I corner myself kind of quickly, and then it takes like days to weeks on end for me to come up with one good funny line that could work. And it's just like, okay, I got something going now, and bam, it just disappears from my mind forever, and I just don't really know what else to do. So I'm trying to get everyone who was interested in it. We're all in a Discord now. I'm trying to get everyone a little bit more active and trying to help me write. Of course, I said at the beginning, it's not a requirement to write. It is not a requirement. I just need voice actors. But if you'd like to help me, that would be very greatly much appreciated. And so I need to get a handle on that because some of them said they want to, but I'm just it's taking a while. Like the hardest part for me genuinely is probably gonna be the actual writing. Like I got the animation down kinda. It's just a matter of actually paying an artist, and I'm gonna get to that once we get to the AI section. But I'm gonna get to that. It's about paying the artist, and it's gonna be just some weeks on end, just waiting on that. But I can animate it myself fine. When I was trying to look up animators online, it was like $300 for 30 seconds. I'm looking for like 8 episodes a season. No, I'm just gonna have to do that myself, and I don't mind it. But today, I want to start off with something that I saw the other day. I was trying to do some TikTok content creation, and a part of that was just who is texting me at this time? Plato's Closet. I need to just get them out of here. I don't even go to Plato's Closet anymore. So I was trying to create some content. I'm typically I am against the people who, you watch TikTok videos and it's just like you have the person and then at the bottom is the actual video, the actual content of it. And they kind of just put their face on there and they just go, what? Mm-mm. Like, I feel like that is the laziest form of content. And I found myself doing that, but I knew in the middle of it, it's like, okay, I can't use this. This is fucking lazy. This is nothing. This doesn't add anything to the content. So when I did find something that I could add on to, it kind of, I went down the rabbit hole, and I normally don't listen to people's story times on TikTok, right? Because I just don't care. I don't. I genuinely don't care for other people's story times. Listen, if you can't tell me your beginning, middle, end within like 2 minutes on TikTok specifically, I'm gonna just tap out. I'm gonna do. But I felt that this was probably the best bet. And so what the video was this girl explaining her first and second dates with a guy who just was not respecting her boundaries in the slightest. And I found myself watching that, and I felt some type of way because not felt some type of way. I don't think she did anything wrong. I'll probably link that in my description if that's even still available in my history. I don't think I liked or favorited it, but it should be recent enough where I can find it. I don't think she did anything wrong aside from continuously letting him in her space when she said, "Hey, I don't really like to be touched, and I can't do that so early on." And she still kept like letting him do it. Like she kept giving him opportunities to do it. If you listen to or watch the video, it'll make sense. At least in my mind, it's just like, why do you keep? I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be touched. So let's go to the movies. I'm gonna bring this blanket and blah blah blah. And oh, you gonna try to take the blanket? Well, I'll give you a little bit of the blanket. I don't. I feel like that was very. You shouldn't have done that. I feel that's the only. She was wrong in the sense of being a little too lenient and not being, hey, don't touch me, right? I gotta pause this because this ISO is killing me. This is a little better. But what stood out was at the very beginning of the video that I recorded, she mentioned that he said his love languages were physical touch and something else. Physical touch and something else, while hers was gift giving and receiving, and I think words of affirmation. And people in her comments, as I was watching it, I was just like, yeah, that sounds about right for both genders. It's typically men's is physical touch and whatever else. And then women's is typically like gift giving and receiving when mainly it's just the receiving part. Like let's just be real. Um and all the comments were women being like, "Ooh, girl!" As soon as he said physical touch, nope. Next, on to the next one. Oh, he already on some freak shit. Oh no, you should have known physical touch, physical touch, physical touch. I hate physical touch. I want to explain why physical touch is usually what men like, right? And I'm going to explain this like from my perspective because of course mine is also physical touch, but I know both sides of this story. So let's get the elephant out the room, right? A lot of men do say it's physical touch so they can fuck, right? Because they know that enough touching can lead to one thing or another. It is what it is. That is absolute facts. I'm not going to refute it. I'm not going to fight it. A lot of men say their love language is physical touch to warm you up to the idea of letting them touch you. So they can feel like not obligated, but it's like they can kind of, well, I did tell you it's physical touch. You don't appreciate me or you don't really like me unless you're touching me. And some men do leverage that as their love language to try and fuck. And that's just what it is. A lot of men do that. I know more men that do that than the reason that like I would do it, right? Not to say I'm better than them. I probably am, but um the other thing why physical touch, another reason physical touch does matter and can actually be seen as something, oh yeah, that makes sense, because obviously a lot of women aren't just going to see physical touch. They don't give a fuck. They're already being sexualized. They're already being touched sometimes without their consent going through the clubs and all that. So they could give a damn about physical touch. I want to use the most recent and obvious example being Rick Ross, right? So they kept showing, or they kept saying on my timeline, they kept showing Rick Ross broke up with his girlfriend because XYZ, she wasn't kissing him and blah, blah, blah. So physical touch is a way to say, physical touch is the most obvious way to show if a woman is interested in you, right? And hold on, because some of you are gonna say, no, it's not. She can do this and do other things. Like, just listen, hear me out. When you're dealing with someone like in the moment, your body is going to react to certain things before you do, right? Before your mind does. And when they kept showing Rick Ross and his girlfriend, they kept showing the same thing. Like they were, I guess, on a boat or something, and he was like leaning in, and she was immediately just like, okay, fine, mama. And so it was a very obvious sign that she didn't like him. She didn't like him. That's your girlfriend, and she's not letting you like kiss her. Like that is, I was gonna say that is something that they would have had to have a discussion about prior, but I'm sure that a A-list celebrity like Rick Ross, who's always had women and money and everything at his disposal, I'm sure that he wouldn't be with the whole idea of, yeah, no, we don't have to kiss out in public. We don't have to do none of that. We don't have to. Like I'm like these artists are like showmen all day every day, so they're going to want to show off. I can't really think of any like black A-list celebrities or artists that are just like, oh no, me and my girl, we don't ever kiss, we don't do that in public. Oh no, I wait till I get home. No, they don't do that. So the fact that he can like try to kiss her, and his girlfriend, her first reaction is just like and then come back, her body is telling her, we do not like this. We do not like this man. We don't like this scenario. We don't like this situation that we're in. We don't like it. And then once her body reacts, then her brain catches up and she's like, oh, but he is paying for this. We wouldn't be on this boat without him. We wouldn't have had XYZ. We wouldn't have this money. Like I wouldn't have had my loans paid without him. So I'll give him a kiss. Physical touch, even on a lower level, because the girl in the video kept talking about how he kept trying to like kind of hold her or hold her hand. And if you're going for something as small, I feel as small as hand holding, and you can't even get that, she's not feeling you that way. Unless it's a first date, because obviously y'all don't always like, not all dates, I'm aware not all dates go how like mine typically go. Like, not to put too much out there, but my dates tend to move a little faster mutually. Like, I typically don't, there have been more times where it's been a lot more mutual hand holding and kissing on like a first and second date than there ever has for me, like trying to do a little hand holding on the first and then being like, what you take me for? Nah. Like there's like my dating life has always moved kind of fast. So, but I am aware that not everyone is doing that on the first date, and they may not be cool with that. But yes, physical touch, when you really take a second to think about it, like for any woman watching, just think back to any time a man you recently met like tried to hug you by like the waist, right? It wasn't like a goodbye hug where y'all just like, okay, it's been nice, and it's like kind of up by your arms, your armpits. Like, the waist hug is the real, oh, oh, we down here. Okay, like that's the real hug. Like the waist hug with the whole like the shorter girl around the neck. That's the real shit right there. Like the side hugs, don't nobody want a side hug. The up here mutual height hug is okay, cool. So we're cooling, but think about think back to any time a man has tried any of those hugs with you, and you gave him the side hug because you knew you weren't feeling him, or he tries to just touch your hand, maybe just a little, just to test the waters, and you said, I'm sorry, like your hand was in the way, but you knew that you just didn't want. You think back to times like that and realize how much you really didn't like that person, versus if a man was just like, so how you doing, came up great by your waist, but you think he cute, and he been having you giggling all night, so you're like, okay, because people will make exceptions for who they like. It happens all the time. Even I have some things that like I wouldn't say my boundaries, but some, I guess, rules or whatever. Them, what's it called? Oh my god, my memory is so bad. People have their non-negotiables. Even I have non-negotiables that I've still been like, let's just see where it goes. You know, like I don't want to date a woman with anxiety anymore. Fucking tired of it. It's irksome, and I want to get on that later. Not the anxiety thing, but like I'm just a very irritable person. But yeah, think back to all those times, and oh yes, so people like they'll make some exceptions for the people that they do like. When it's someone that you really not feeling, like he hasn't made you laugh all night. Excuse me, he's asking oh, so how we splitting this? He done gave you the ick, and now you just don't want to. Now your shoulders are up here the whole night. Just be like, I guess. He's like, you want me to walk you to your car? Are you 3 blocks away? And you're just like, no, I'm good, thank you, because you don't even want that man to be around you that long. Like you don't like him, and physical touch can just see it. Physical touch can see it before you say it, and that's when like the man would have to make his decision, like, do I want to keep doing this? Because there have been times where even I've been like, do I want to keep going with this shit? I don't really know, man. I really don't. But I wanted to make that a point because a lot of women act like they're so scared of a man saying physical touch is my love language. I get it, yes, a lot of men do say that so they can try to fuck, but like realistically, that's what that is. It's you're feeling me because you're comfortable with me, and I'm comfortable with you. And of course, I know because I'm such a glass half full person. I know there's someone out there that's gonna be like, "Oh well, she can do this to you, and she won't be laid up with another nigga." I mean, okay, listen, that shit happens. All right, you can't control another person's actions. You just gotta go with what you know and what you can do. Listen, if a girl's laid up with me and then she's like, all right, I'm going to the store and I'll be back a little later, and she don't come back for 3 hours, all of a sudden her hair messed up, I'm gonna have to be like, why the fuck's your hair messed up? Oh, nah, I got you. What, you getting a fight at the store? But I'm more so in the camp of you just have to like adapt to whatever's going on. But physical touch, it's a big one for me. I want to know that I want to feel like you like me. And your body's gonna react. Your body's gonna tell me how you're feeling about me before you do, you know? But that's it. And so the next topic I want to get on, what we got here? Crying heroes, right? Okay, so kind of this doesn't exactly go into like dating, but this comes up a lot when I'm dating, right? So of course I'm a nerd. In case y'all didn't know, I'm a nerd for sure. Cartoons, anime, video games, all that. I'm here for it. What I'm not here for is a bunch of crying when even in real life too, right? I don't do well with people, especially women, crying because I don't know what to do. I am such a let's get to the bottom of this, or what can we do to proceed? What can we do to bounce back type of person. I don't know what to do when people start crying and they just want to cry. And that's not to say anything's wrong with crying. I'm saying I don't know what to do with it because that's just not how I cope with crying. Like if I'm crying, I'm coming up with a plan of what to do next so we're not here anymore. I can't cry just to cry. And at work, someone asked me at work recently. They were like, "When's the last time you cried?" I cried back in August. That was the last time I cried. And when I say I cried back in August, like that was shit that built up for an entire year before I cried. I went to a rage room and like all that shit came out. I highly suggest anyone goes to a rage room. By the way, it's very like it lifts weight. It lifts so much weight off your shoulders. It just makes you feel better to just get all that anger out for sure. Even if it's a date, I went there on a date one time. It was alright. The date was fine. I'm just being bitter. But I went there on a date one time, and then I went there for actual like emotional release, and it was great. So that was the last time I cried back in August. So I'm not against crying. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone because I barely cry. I just that's where my head is about it. If I'm crying, literally as soon as I cried that day, I was just like, all right, let's get it together. When we were more realistic, I was in that bitch like, okay, all right. It took me a minute to just get my shit together. I think they even gave me more time because, of course, there's cameras all in the rooms, and I think because I definitely went over my time, I think they were just letting me get my shit together before anyone came to get me. I was just like, all right, okay, all right, can't keep doing this. I gotta move forward. Let's see, what are we gonna do? And I did what I needed to do, and it worked out. Worked out for the most part. Um, But when I say I don't like crying heroes, someone tried to get me into Attack on Titan. I gave up on that because what's his name kept crying. I forgot the blonde dude at the start. He kept crying, and I got annoyed. I got fed up. I was really tired. Um, I don't like Steven Universe. I don't. And this comes up all the time with my friends and like the women that I date. They were just, I love Steven Universe. I'm like, oh, he's so cute. I fucking hate Steven Universe because for me, let's go back to anime real quick, right? Because I almost gave up on My Hero Academia because Deku kept crying at the start, and I got tired of that shit. He had one more episode where I forgot it was early on when he was taking his entrance exams. There was a moment I think he was gonna cry again. I was just like, all right, fuck this, I'm out. But he didn't. He pulled it together, or at least he kept the tears like in the ducts right here. They're like borderline about to fall, but I was like, all right, you got me. And then I don't think he ever really cried after that. Like it was it was crying like from like the sheer amount of pain he was in versus I can't do this, I'll never be a hero. It's been so long since I've seen the first season of that I don't like remember specifically, but I remember watching it and just like, yeah, he's doing too much crying for me. Same thing with Steven Universe. Steven was such fucking cryberry, and people be like, he's a kid. I don't care. Ben Tennyson was a kid too. I can't remember the last time he cried. I really can't. And that's where the divide comes from for me, I believe. Like I grew up on child and teenage superheroes getting shit done. Those were the ones that I wouldn't even say looked up to, but I just wanted to see like more adventures from. I wanted to follow this person because they just weren't crying. Again, there's nothing wrong with it. It is the overabundance of crying for every issue that I'm not a fan of. And people can tell me, oh, it gets better as he gets older. I'm sure it fucking does, as it would for anyone. But if I'm going to be following this person who every time something goes wrong, he cries, I'm not here for it. And it was almost the same with the Adventure Time. I stopped with the Adventure Time for different reasons, though. It's because I just hated their dialogue. I hate everything. Not I hate everything about Adventure Time, but I hate how it was written. Nothing felt like serious at any point. It's just the way it was written. It was just I don't like the made up words. I don't like how long I had to watch Finn deal with like his I guess his mistress issues or whatever princess he was gonna like, and how long they drew out the Ice King's backstory, I guess with Marceline. Oh my god, that dragged on for so fucking long. Just give us the story, man. Just again, beginning, middle, end. I'm tired. There was always just it felt like there was always more and more and more, and they always tried to hit you in the feelings, but it's like they kept stacking it and stacking it. It felt so forced. It felt like what Futurama became, right? Where it's just every couple of seasons they would try to hit you stupid hard in the feelings to where now you're expecting it, and you can't top this. You can't top Fries, dog. You can't. Every time they make a finale of something with Fry and Leela, it's like who cares at this point? You can get a sweet moment, but when you're trying to hit that emotional peak of oh my god, you're not topping Fry's dog. You're just not. There are moments of what was it when he found out his brother named the nephew after him. I think that's what it was. You can get moments like that, but you're not topping it. And I feel like there's a point where you should just stop because now we know you're going to force it every time. That's why I can't fuck with. I couldn't get with Adventure Time. It's just there's a certain level of it's not emotional maturity. It's a girl that I used to talk to, and we were having this conversation, and she was stating how a lot of cartoons nowadays are more in touch with like the main character's emotions. They are. But I'm just not because I wasn't raised on that. I wasn't raised on now Billy, we're just gonna assume Billy's black here. Now Billy, if someone's treating you bad, it's okay. I want you to come tell me. And I was raised on like the action heroes who like they figured out what they were gonna do. Like they may have asked an adult, but it wasn't just like a no, sit down, let's have this You see how I went from the mom and then the dad. I don't know, but it's like now sit down, son. What's got you bothered? Sport and blah blah blah. Blah. Like I didn't watch Little Bill. I know it's kind of a weird transition. I didn't watch Little Bill. I feel like that's the type of thing that would happen on Little Bill. I was strictly like Teen Titans. Man, Robin was going through it. That man had PTSD to the motherfucking letter. Oh, when Slade was beating his ass in his mind and all his friends were just watching, but he got to the bottom of it. They found out, okay, technically the team did. Robin was getting his ass handed to him. But they found out what was going on and they helped him out. And he, once he got his shit straight, he was just like, hey, y'all, I'm sorry for, how I was treating y'all and all this and all that. But, it's just so much crying. I just don't want to watch an action show where you're constantly trying to make me feel like heartwarming. I watch action to watch action. Another reason I watch Another reason I don't watch Steven Universe is because it felt like they were always just breaking that up. There was too much cutesy action going on. Like it's too much cutesy stuff that I'm not a fan of. Well, what else did we have? It was like maybe Robot Boy. I feel like that's a good show to use as an example because Robot Boy, they had a somewhat cutesy art style, but they still went through shit. I can't name any emotional episodes, but like they still got back to what was necessary, what was needed. It wasn't so in your fucking face. Emotions. Like I'm tired of seeing that shit. I can't get with it because that's just not what I was raised on. When Ben thought that Gwen just died, I think she got pulled by some wild vines in that movie. It's like he was mad. He was just like, no, I can't believe it. And he didn't cry, or at least I don't remember him crying. He was just like, oh, how we gonna get back from my cousin, bro? Like, I need my cousin back now. We're gonna fix this shit. I'm gonna avenge her. He didn't sit there just like, oh, Gwen, oh God, no. When it came to, there was an episode of Ben 10, I think it was Ultimate Alien, that I think perfectly describes my dilemma and like how I'm split down the middle. It was the season where Kevin, he took all the aliens that Ben had to that point. Again, we're in Ultimate Alien, so he has a shit ton of aliens, including like ultimate forms now. So they beat the main villain of that season. Kevin took all the powers, went crazy again, flew off. So for the most of that season, Ben and Gwen were on two different like paths. Gwen was just like, we need to heal him. We need to take care of him. That's our friend. And I love him. And blah, blah, blah. And Ben, don't do this. Ben wanted all the smoke. He was literally on the phone with his grandpa like, I gotta kill Kevin. And Grandpa was like, do what you gotta do. Whose side do you think I was on? All right, let's start. Whose side do you think I was on? The one who wanted to be sweet and maybe talk him out of this when it's clear he is not listening to reason, or the one who was gonna do what he needed to do to get that man gone, right? I feel like that perfectly encapsulates how, like, Gwen's side was like the new shows, the new cartoons, and Ben's side was the old cartoons of, nah, we got to get shit done. Hey, look, we can be sad about it later, but we got to get shit done now. I don't fuck with crying heroes at all. It's too much. It's too much. And the overabundance of tears does nothing for me. And again, that is something that is in my real life too. Like seeing people cry, it's just like, okay, okay. So the last thing I want to talk about is the current status, the current state of AI. And this is going to be. Let me start out by saying this, right? Let me get my hair together. I had my hair back at work, and they were just like, "Ooh, Kiara, you look so handsome. Your jawline, your jawline." I was like, thank you." AI should either, when it comes to art, it should be used only as proof of concept, right? If you're going to get an idea of what to paint, what to make, what to draw, what to sharpie, what to color, what to design, build, whatever. When it comes to art, AI should absolutely just be proof of concept that stays in your drafts. Do not let anybody know that you are using AI for your shit when it comes to art. And when I say art, I mean any type of art. I saw it was an episode of Pop the Balloon that came across my TikTok, and there was a guy on there who I think some of you may have seen, and they were asking him, what do you do? And he was like, blah, 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 blah. I do this, I do that. I'm also an actor. I work on Power Rangers Mythos Force. And what's her name? Arlette, I think. Arlette and some of the other girls, they're just like, ooh, okay, Power Rangers. She's on Power Rangers. Real Power Rangers fans knew something was up because that was some bullshit. The problem, for those that don't know, Power Rangers Mythos Force is not a licensed Power Rangers. It's not an official Power Rangers franchise. They have Power Rangers Mystic Force, and I'm sure some type of other force, but Mythos Force is not a thing. So I immediately was just like, what did he mean? He can't mean Mystic because Mystic ended over like 10 years ago, and he's on here now talking about like this as if it's current. What is going on? What is he talking about? So I did some digging and saw that when it comes to like his Mythos Force, that it is a fan-made project, and there is nothing wrong with that. The problem is that he is going about it as if this is something like super legit. He could have said he's a director and named off a couple projects. He could have named off Mythos Force as a project. I mean, he has stuff online, right? The problem is that he went about it a little underhanded, like with them not knowing what that really was. And going back to the AI thing, people were mentioning how his suit was like AI. I didn't take a great look at the videos, but he based the real life suits off of an AI concept. Me personally, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like, I need people to be just fucking for real. I need people to stop acting like if they didn't know something was AI that they wouldn't like it. And I don't know if I said that right. Basically, let me say this. So currently there is one other AI thing that just got stupid popular this weekend, and it is called Seedance 2.0, and it's an AI video generator. But the issue with this is that Sea Dance is really fucking good. When it comes to animation, it's really fucking good now. And it's kind of scary. Animation, you would see like some capes maybe clipping into the back of a character. And of course we all used to look at the fingers and how much is there. I looked at Sea Dance and I'll try to. Matter of fact, I don't even have to overlay it. Let me see if I can just put it on, cause it's getting kind of crazy. AI is really getting scary as fuck. Watch this shit, bro. And that's all I want to play. But I wanted to show that off. I wanted to show that off because there's only a few things in there that are not consistent and would make you think, okay, that's AI. There were a couple clips where like the sides that the Pokemon are on are flipped. Right. So that's one thing. It just randomly flips and animation errors happen, but that flip was it was so consistently inconsistent, if that makes sense. It was consistently inconsistent enough for you to be like something is wrong here. This isn't just one slight animation error. Something is wrong here. On top of some of the impact frames being a little off, it's more like the character Squirtle, I think, just got moved over slightly or the arm stretched out more than it should be. But for the most part, nigga, that's Pokemon. That is Pokemon. And I need people to stop saying, oh, this is AI slop. This looks terrible. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Bro, that is Pokemon. The music, the tone, the color, the oh yeah, and then when Gyarados like jumped out the ocean and what is it? Because that explosion happens all the time. Normally it will be like closer to the middle, or there'll be a close up on that middle explosion instead of just hitting like Gyarados most of the time. But people will say, "Oh, this is AI." Like when people are able to tell that it's AI, they be like, "This is disgusting. This is terrible." When in reality, it's not. AI is getting so close to being like is AI is so close to taking artists out of their job. It's insane. I said this before 3 years ago. We were on Will Smith and his noodles and his bowl of noodles, like hair, whatever. People talking about the shininess. Like AI is it's bad. Not, it's not bad, but it's getting to a point where it's like, oh shit. But that's going back to what I was saying. AI should be a proof of concept. That man said Mythos Force, Power Rangers, and if that's something you're doing, like you're designing costumes, cool. But like, oh, that's what we're talking about. His costume was based on, I guess, AI. He used it as a proof of concept. Had he never said or never put out that, hey, yeah, this costume is AI, and if he just came out with the suit, I promise you, nobody would be like, oh yeah, that's ugly. That's ugly as hell, dude. That suit. Let's look at his suit. Actually, I'm just gonna. Okay, I never transitioned. So listen, this is his Mythos Force suit, and I don't think that this one. He said, "Repost this everywhere. We made my little dream come to life." So this is the actual suit. You can kind of see the stretch marks. You unfortunately see his print. I need him to work on that. Oh man, that. All right, that threw me for a fucking loop. All right, so this is his. The suit itself. It's not terrible. It's a little too dark to be like a primary ranger because like it's way too much. It's not colorful, right? It's something about fan casting is people always want to make a dark Power Rangers, and that's kind of interesting to me, you know? Yeah. So people are always trying to make a dark Power Rangers. That suit is not bad. It could use some adjustments, but that suit in itself and how it came out is not bad. He just needs to make it more I'm so fucking irritated. I don't know what's been going on with my cam link recently, but it just keeps freezing and shutting off. So, anyways, like I was fucking saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my own camera, had he never shown off the actual AI artwork, I'm sure the reception to that suit would have just been like, hey, it needs some work, or it's a little dark. That's it. But because he showed the AI first, people immediately started shitting on him and being like, yo, this sucks. Like, this isn't real deal. When he's clearly like in the suit now. Like, the AI didn't. It gave the concept of the suit, but the AI didn't build the fucking suit. Like, he or someone else did that. There was no reason for anyone to come as hard as they did at him. Pause. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people need to accept that AI is here and it's like here to stay. The problem is there are people who are putting AI at the forefront of their business and they need to stop doing that shit. Especially if you're an artist. No one likes the idea of AI. If you're going to use AI, do not make it the forefront of your business, because there is only a certain demographic of people who like AI, and it's pretty concrete. Like, older people don't like it because they can't tell what's real anymore. Younger people don't like it because it's taking some of the jobs that people are looking for. It's a demographic right there in the middle that's still like having fun and still doing the, oh yeah, look at me as a crocodile. Look at me and my big boy, big girl job and like little cartoon. Like, there's only a certain demographic of people that still like that. Everyone else hates AI. I'm not one of those people that hates AI. I know I don't like looking at it sometimes, but it's getting to a point where it is getting very realistic and it's not much we can do about it. And people keep saying, oh, it's killing the water supply. Listen, we got water everywhere. I'm going to be so honest with you. People going to have to come up with a new one. Don't nobody give a shit about that water. I'm going to be dead honest with you. Don't nobody give a shit about that water. No one does. But anyways, if you're going to be using AI, and I'm done with the art piece, but if you're going to be using AI, you have to do that shit on the back end. Don't tell people that you're using AI. You just have to do it on the back end. Because if you don't, like, don't tell anyone what you're doing. Like, it has to be super obvious. Like, it gets to a point where people are doing emails. Like, at my job, my supervisor does not fuck with us using AI for anything, and I'm with her there because we are like first response, hands on with clients, and we have a lot of old clients, so they want to speak to someone right now with something that we can handle. So talking to a robot is just going to piss them off in a way. Like, we move systems and they still don't. We moved systems like 3 months ago. They still hate that shit. And it doesn't even really use AI like that. The system just kind of sucks. So if you introduced AI, like they had immediate connection to a person. If you start giving them AI, like you're putting AI at the forefront of the business, they're gonna hate that shit. You'll probably lose business. Cause nobody wants to do that. I hate doing it. I'm trying to sell some shit on eBay, and something happened to where I didn't know I bought two shipping labels by accident, and so I needed to just cancel one. I was looking everywhere, couldn't find it. I really wasn't just clicking enough buttons, but I tried to talk to like customer service, and it gave me like their chat bot first. I'm just like, representative. Oh no, the shipping label. Well, how can I help you with the shipping label? Where it needs to go? How can you get it? And then. No one wants to do all of these fucking questions. Just tell me what I need to know. Get me in contact with someone who knows exactly, who can point me in the right direction, instead of you guessing what direction I need to be in. Then I pick a direction and then you're still guessing and then you're still guessing. It's fucking stupid. No one wants to do that. Nobody likes doing that. Like, you have to keep AI out of the forefront of your business. If AI is running like if AI is running your email listings, cool. They don't have to fucking know that. They probably don't. It's someone out there thinking that you're sending this email to every one of your clients individually because you care that much, when literally there are systems in place that help customize it to that certain demographic. I need to read back on my notebook, but there is it's a word for that. And people like, that's how that works. The AI is a part of that. However, it's been a part of that for years, even before AI really took off. But that is a part of that. You have to do it on the back end. People are trying to be way too open with their AI usage, knowing people don't fuck with AI. It's so odd to me that people are still doing this. I don't want to say hide your intentions, but you're a business. You are a business. Again, going back to what is it? And when we first started doing like the AI stuff in Greensboro, going downtown, they had a billboard up. I think it's still there, honestly. They put up a billboard that was very clearly AI. And people made a fuss about it. They made a fuss about it on Facebook, on the Greensboro subreddits, on Twitter, everywhere. People were not fucking with it. People do not like AI, especially for art. Especially for art. AI, like one thing I do use it for, Opus Clip. That's literally just cuts down workflow, not the actual um what is it? Not the actual end product, but it helps cut down on workflow. No, I can tell you, no editor wants to work like 2-3 hours for like a 20-second clip. I promise you that. You can ask anyone. I promise you that. Unless there is a certain clip where you need to add certain effects in a certain way, and there's a multitude of projects where that can be the case. If it's something where it's just like this, where I just need to cut this for some content and spread it out over some weeks, nobody wants to do that. Like Opus Clip, I don't want to give them too much free promotion, but I do fucks with them. Opus Clip, I can take a 3-hour video, throw it in their system, and like go out to eat. I could go to my job and let it play out, and it'll be ready for me within the next like 2 hours. And that's just a ballpark estimate. It's been a while since I used it. It's more than likely going to be less time than that, depending on the length of your video. But it is AI should just be used to help with workflow and not the actual end result of art, right? It shouldn't be at the forefront of your business. It shouldn't be anything. It should stay away from anything artistic unless it's just a proof of concept. Had he, the Red Mythos Ranger, had he just taken that concept that AI spit out at him and made it into something else, and like he looked at it and was just like, okay, could be brighter. This doesn't really give like Power Rangers. This gives the Power Rangers comics, which are two completely different things, mind you. Like the Power Rangers comics and the Power Rangers shows do have like completely different vibes, especially in their storytelling. You think we're ever getting a live action Lord, what is it, Draken or Dracon? I don't know how you say it. Like Lord Dragon. You think we're ever getting that in real life? No, that shit is way too bleak for like Power Ranger standards. That shit is bleak as hell. And I know RPM was also a bleak future, but when's the last time we had some shit like that? Even in the worst times, the most negative, the most down times of Power Rangers, it's still bright outside and sunny and shit. The last thing I can remember was maybe Power Rangers Samurai, when it was like the one-on-one with the most boring Red Ranger ever, and that one guy Decker, I think that was his name. Even in the most like, even in the lowest of times for Power Rangers, the overall vibe of the show, and this is more of a production issue. This isn't like I actually hate it. I hate the production of that. Like even during the most sad times, it's still bright and early. Like there's no tone shift ever. They can be sad and they'll be like, "Well, cheer up, Billy. We can do this. And then like they'll be in like a bright lit classroom, and like there's no type of change to the emotional state, like the vibes of the area. It's so weird. It's so off-putting to me. Even in Power Rangers SP, now I'm going on a Power Rangers rant. Even in Power Rangers SPD, there was an episode where they did a stakeout, and I remember like it wasn't like super bright and sunny in the room that they were in, and they weren't letting a whole bunch of light in. The vibes were there because they were having a serious conversation. It was like Jack and fuck, I forgot her name, the Pink Ranger. But I think Jack, one of them was just like, I don't have a birthday, and they're like, what do you mean you don't have a birthday? It's like, no, I was an orphan, blah blah blah. Like I never knew my parents. I didn't have a birthday, so I don't really have a birthday. And then they ended up being like, I guess we can celebrate today as your birthday. We can celebrate this together. Like that was some deep emotional shit, and the production value of it was still the tone fit the dialogue. The visual tone fit the dialogue, and they don't do that shit in Power Rangers anymore. I forgot how I got here, but yeah, had he not shown off that the AI picture, I'm sure more people would have been more receptive to it. I'm positive. It's like once you start telling people that you're using AI, they're gonna start looking at you funny. Even when AI is very, especially if you are like starting up a company, like if it's one of those things where you're a new entrepreneur and you're starting something and you need help or ideas that you cannot pay for, because people seem to forget, people who have never done the entrepreneur thing just assume that you can just make shit. It's weird. It's not weird. It's just people do not have any idea how much work goes into shit like that. You know how many years people have to work under a company to get to a place where they can start their business, and it's easy to be like, oh, why don't you just hire someone? How am I supposed to hire someone if I have all of these bills and I want to make this happen, and the person who I want to hire's minimum is like $300, and I only have 70 left over from the work week after paying all my bills. How am I supposed to do that with AI? You don't. You come to that $70. It's like you, if you get something you want to build from the AI, then you start saving that money for that person with the $300. We're like, okay, this is what I want to do. Can you spruce this up? Can you make these changes? Okay, sure. When it comes to what's it called? Not managerial, but it's always a word that I'm forgetting. Hold on, guys. I can do this. Administrative. AI is amazing for administrative tasks. I don't care what anybody says. Like they always talk about, so, oh, this person sent me an AI email. Listen, they were just sending templates before. I don't know what to tell you. Like you think people were sending you templates. I need you to understand that people were sending you templates. AI kind of makes, I'll say, worse templates. But if that's all you can do, if you have an influx of people that you're not able to get to, then shit, use the AI, bro. Who gives a fuck what they think? You didn't hire them. I'm gonna be so for real. You didn't hire them. Who cares? Um, when it comes to administrative tasks, it's things again. It goes back to workflow. You know, if using AI helps you on the back end here, so you can still manage what's going on up here for the public to see, then use the AI, but don't make it the forefront of your business to where it now becomes either your client or your customer's problem, or now they're looking at you funny because you use AI, knowing the climate around AI. It's, just don't do it to yourself. But those are my current thoughts on everything. Physical touch, and how it's not just, oh, I want to touch you, like, it's just like I like you, so I want to know that you like me, and so we can just do a little touchy touchy. It doesn't have to be that. It's more so, oh no, you're not fucking with me because to your body is reacting poorly before you even realize what's going on, right? It's like you back up into, I don't know, you're leaning on something and you fucking touch the stove and you're just like, ah, Like your body is gonna feel that before you recognize, oh, that was the stove I touched. Like, oh no, let me not do that shit again. So there's that. Um, I hate seeing people crying. I really do. Nothing's wrong with it. I just don't know how to react because I rather get to a place where I can just say, hey, let's move forward. How are we going to change this so we're not sitting here crying again? And then again, AI, you're going to use it with art, use it as a proof of concept, and don't fucking share it with people. Use it as a proof of concept just to get an idea of what you want to make, how maybe you want to do it, get some ideas rolling. And for businesses, just use them for back end tasks. That's it. Don't make it the forefront. Don't make your clients go through a bunch of hoops and shit because you could make this free. You're just losing clients that way. Just don't do it, dog. It's just not worth it. But I think that's what DMX said. Don't do it, dog. Yeah, it's just not worth it. But thank you for watching, joining, however you want to go about this. I don't know when I'm going to do this again because this was just like three things that built up over time, right? It's just these. I haven't been doing much, so I have to get back to other stuff. And I'm gonna, yeah, I'll see y'all another time when I have more to talk about. Preach.